When I first moved to Bali at 29, I had never intended to make it my forever home. I had thought that I might spend 6 months at most and then move on, continuing my nomadic lifestyle. But the ease of life, the joy of driving a motorbike through enchanting panoramas, and the friendly people made it hard to find somewhere better. And then the pandemic hit, and for 2.5 years I didn't leave the island. 4 years have elapsed since I first arrived with one suitcase. I've changed a lot, and to be fair, Bali has also changed. It was time to move on. Welcome to the diary of my last days in Bali. I'm sitting up on my terrace looking out at this gorgeous view as the sun is about to set and realizing that this is the last few times that I'll be looking at this view. I am actually leaving back to Lisbon on Sunday. Today's Tuesday, which means I have just a handful of days left, and I'm mostly really excited to get back to Lisbon. Obviously, as I said in my previous video, it has been months of waiting for this visa that it finally came back, and now it's really happening. I'm really moving, and for me this feels pretty permanent in the sense that I think that I'm not going to be coming back to Bali in any kind of significant way in the future, maybe to visit, but nothing like living here in the way that I've been living here over the past 4+ years. I'm actually planning to sell my Vespa. I mean, I'm really getting ready to cut my ties with this island that I've called home for several years. So I wanted to kind of document this experience of moving across the world yet again, as I've done so many times in my life, because it's going to be very bittersweet. It's certainly going to be sad to say goodbye, you know, to the friends and the people that I have here and the comfort and the ease of life, but you know, I'm trading it for what I hope is more adventure, more romance, more excitement, more purpose in Europe. So I'm gonna bring you along with me over these next several days of packing up my life, of getting ready to go, and saying goodbye to Bali. So basically every day here in Bali I start the same, actually every day everywhere. I just recalled that in my Lisbon video as well, I started by drinking coffee in bed. So that's always how I start my day, and I work from bed. I mean, why not when you have that luxury? And that's what I do probably now for the next hour. So I'm enjoying these last days of waking up and having my coffee already made for me, even with a little teaspoonful of ghee sitting in the coffee mug just waiting for me to stir it into the coffee. As I've said, living here in Bali is truly a luxury with these little things, having people who take care of you around the house. These are things that you just don't get in other parts of the world. So in the last few days that I have here, I'm really reminding myself to appreciate and enjoy that. So my landlord and real estate agent are coming over this afternoon in about an hour and a half, and we have to negotiate over the extension of my lease, which is actually coming up in a few weeks. And I do want to keep my villa here because I'm not 100% certain that I want to sever like all ties forever with Bali. And more than that, you know, I have a bunch of things here, and I've spent quite a bit of money to redecorate my villa, buy furniture, all of this stuff that clearly I can't take with me. So it just makes more sense financially actually also to keep the villa and rent it out for short-term rentals versus just getting rid of it. And you know, it's still a better proposition for me to keep it, and I do want to keep it. It's just that she is raising my rent over 30% over what I've been paying for the last 2 years. And you know, I did get a special price for coronavirus basically when I started renting this villa because there were no foreigners here, and the real estate market obviously was not what it is now that people are able to come back, and there's just a lot of demand in Bali, and that's why, you know, it makes sense for me to keep it, because I can definitely rent it out for more than I overall pay for it on a yearly basis. So my hope is that she'll be a little bit flexible just with the kind of payment schedule, because the way that generally leases work here in Bali is you have to pay the entire year upfront, and with everything that I have spent to move to Portugal and paying the equivalent of 7 months upfront there to move into my apartment and continually paying rent when I haven't even been there for the last 2 months, I'm a little bit tight on cash, also because it's the slower season right now in my business. So I'm gonna hopefully have a good conversation with her, and we'll see how that goes. Well, I just finished my meeting with my landlord, and everything went as well as I could have hoped for. She agreed to the payment schedule that I proposed, which just gives me a little bit of breathing room while I rent out my home for short term. And that's definitely a relief. I mean, I don't want to give up this villa. I would have kept it regardless, even if she had said that, you know, I would have had to pay 100% of the year, you know, right away. Everything is kind of coming together. And again, I'm not ready to say goodbye to this villa. I really like having this second home, and you know, I have a lot of things here, a lot of furniture, as I said, and put a lot of heart into it, a lot of heart and soul into maintaining this villa. It's been like a part-time job looking after it, because there's always something that needs to be fixed. And you know, with everything that we've done in the garden, of redesigning the garden, like I really want to keep it. So very relieved about that. Seria bom que ele viesse.
Eu ficaria feliz se eles me dessem carro. Descem. Recém. Descem. Eu gostaria que elas conhecessem esta igreja. Gostaria que elas conhecessem esta igreja.
So I've been doing Duolingo actually since I decided to move to Portugal, so it's now been, I think, about 6 months of Duolingo. And, you know, the format of Duolingo is a little bit childish at times. It almost feels like it's designed for kids, but it really has helped me a lot. I actually use Duolingo to learn Indonesian, and I do enjoy the fact that I can learn a language at my pace, because when I was in Lisbon, I actually signed up for language courses, and I dropped out after a day and a half because, one, it was way too early in the morning, and two, I'm just not really like a group learning person. I've always been much more of an autodidact. I'm really good at learning languages, Portuguese being my 5th or 6th, depending on how you count. And so I tend to kind of go at a really fast pace, and Duolingo is pretty good for that. So I've been doing about 30 minutes to an hour if I'm really bored a day of Duolingo. Like, it does get frustrating at times because I hate having to type out, you know, the answers. I prefer much more the format of just like choosing the words. And again, for me, Portuguese is a really easy language to learn because I already speak Spanish, and actually even the way that I do Duolingo is from Portuguese to French. French is the second language that I speak fluently. It's the one that I speak the best. I went to school in France. I've been speaking French for half my life. So when you go from one Romance language to another, it actually makes much more sense in my brain because of grammar and things like this. It's the same way when I learned Spanish. I actually learned in Mexico and taking Spanish courses in a school, but I did it always in my head from Spanish to French or French to Spanish. It just makes a lot more sense. So I feel like my Portuguese has come along significantly. Like, I can, you know, make conversation. It's just, I know that vocabulary-wise and practice-wise I need to do a lot more. The thing also with Duolingo for Portuguese is that it's Brazilian Portuguese, not Portuguese from Portugal. However, I'm going to say something that probably won't sit well with the Portuguese people that watch this video, and that is that I much prefer the sound of Brazilian Portuguese to the Portuguese from Portugal. For me, it's more musical and a bit softer sounding, with the T sounds and the D sounds being more almost like Italian sounding, versus in the Portuguese from Portugal, very clipped. And with the S in Portugal being like a sh sound, which I don't really like. So I'm going to be this weird person living in Portugal, speaking a Brazilian version of the language with an accent that's somewhere between French, Spanish, and English. I don't think anybody will really be able to understand quite exactly where I'm from. Hello Kaki, selamat datang sukses. Apa kabar?
Baik, Kak.
Where are you here? How are you?
I'm sorry.
No, I just got here. I brought my camera. Actually, I'm not going to film our meeting, but I'm making like a video out of my last days in Bali. You came in just as I was filming. So I've come in now to my office to have a meeting with my accountant. Before I leave, I just want to make sure that all of my financial matters are set and everything is going to be good to go. It's really complicated for me because I own a business here in Indonesia, and I actually have to file taxes here and in the United States, and when I move to Portugal, I'm going to have to file them there as well. So a very complicated system, and just hoping to get some clarity on how to manage everything from many thousand miles away from now on. You know what's really crazy is that there's actually a restaurant in Portugal, in Lisbon I should say, that sells nasi goreng for almost 20 euros. Now here in Bali you can get nasi goreng at like a local warung type place for, I don't know, like 15,000 rupiah, 20,000 rupiah. This I ordered from Kembali. It's a restaurant that is pretty close to my house that I like. It's a little bit more expensive than that, but honestly not much more. And it's really grown on me, nasi goreng. It's one of the things that I will definitely miss not being here anymore, is just really good, cheap delivery food like this, like Indonesian fast food. I mean, who doesn't love chicken fried rice? Well, we are now Thursday, so it's T-minus 3 days until my departure for Lisbon, and today, in getting ready to leave, I realized that I want to transform what has been my office space. It used to be the third bedroom, but turned into my studio, back into a bedroom, because a 3-bedroom villa is a much better rental proposition than a 2-bedroom. So I have to go and shop for a mattress and a bed today, things that I really don't feel like doing because it's hot outside. I have to get on the motorbike, drive around, and you know, it's really not how I want to be spending my day, but there's nobody else to do it for me, so that is what my day, or rather my afternoon, is going to be looking like. Hopefully I can just find it in one stop shop, because I really don't want to have to run around looking for this. It's just a little bit annoying, but let's do it. The reason that I don't really like to do anything in Bali is that it's all so exhausting to get on the motorbike in this heat and the humidity and the traffic and all of that. But just a 15-minute ride and I'm here in the mattress shop feeling very sweaty, but hopefully I can find it here. So the little secret is that they tried to upsell me on the most expensive model at first, but then when I called my friend who told me to call my gardener who knew about some other shop, she said, wait, we do have some cheaper options. So I found actually a really soft one for almost half the price of what it was originally going to be, which was like 5 million something. This one is 3.3 or 3.4, I don't even remember anymore, but it's really soft, good quality. So I'm trying to see if I can get the other elements here or if it's better to buy them somewhere else, because I still need the bed stand and maybe a headboard, maybe don't need a headboard. So if I get that here, that's already one thing that I could check off my list. Alright, I buy all of my sheets at Indo Linen, and now that I've got the mattress, I can pick up a couple sets of twin sheets, and then my last quest of the day will just be to get this bed frame. So let's go inside and buy some sheets.
Yang sirikan aja. Ya.
Apa? Size mangut. Berapa?
560. Yang ini PC 300 ya.
Kasih yang lebih murah.
Coba sudah saya cek ya.
Ada borsanya, Bu.
Katanya?
Nggak pakai borsa.
Behind me is the current situation of packing up my life in this house. I have 2 big checked suitcases that I'll be filling. I actually already have left some stuff away in Portugal, like at least 1 checked bag full of clothes and then things that I bought there that I didn't bother to take with me back here, knowing that I would be returning. So I'm hoping that all of this stuff behind me will fit into the rest of the space in this half full suitcase, which right now has a bunch of random photography and videography things. Yeah, I mean, anything that I actually like, I am taking with me, because I really don't think that I'll be coming back to Bali very much anymore. So anything that really, like, I don't think that I'm going to be wearing or using in Europe is getting left behind. But again, it's not a lot of stuff. Pakaian olahraga sudah bersama.
Ya, satu tempatnya.
I ordered these packing cubes online. I've actually been using this kind of organization stuff now for about a year, and it's actually quite helpful to just kind of like create space and keep everything together so that when you're unpacking, it makes the job a lot easier too. Hello. Anyway, so this is the wall in my house that I did.
Okay.
I have another wall. It's the same size as this.
Okay. If you want, we can go there to remeasure it again.
Yeah, but can I look at some of the patterns? Because I don't want to choose the same one. I want a different one for it's a different wall in my house. Dinding beda di kamar.
Yes, understand. So, which them are you into?
Similar to this.
Similar like
But
that.
different.
For similar like that.
From a non-bow again.
Oh, from
Sorry, Daddy.
Can I walk over this or? Oh yeah, I love these. I would actually like something like maybe like this. Yeah, this is really nice. Yeah, Kochang. So some of you might remember, if you're really like very dedicated followers of my channel, that I came to this shop, Hummingbird, like a couple years ago when I was redoing my living room, and they've since changed locations, but I really love the work that they did on the wall in my living room, so I'm back here looking at some other designs to redo this 3rd bedroom. Because when I took out everything that was supposed to be my office and my photo studio, it just looks so bare and empty, and you know, this really elevates the aesthetic and the style. So I'm just looking, can you go back up? So yeah, I love these. They're so exotic and beautiful, and they always do a really, really nice job. Okay, so let's see what else. So I've been running around all afternoon and finally I have a minute to eat. It's 3 o'clock because after going to the wallpaper place, I had to stop by the bank to get a new key card that allows me to access my business bank account, because my biggest fear is that while I'm away, that little key is gonna die, like the battery is gonna die, and then I'll be locked out of my account. And also had to stop by Indolinen again to buy the things that the other store didn't have. So now actually there is someone from Hummingbird, the wallpaper place, here measuring my wall. And meanwhile, we have our assistant shopping to try to find a dresser of drawers for clothes. So a lot of things going on last minute because tomorrow is my final day here, so just need to get everything done. All good? Well, it's officially my last full day in Bali. It's Saturday. I'm leaving tomorrow at 11:30, so it's the last, actually tomorrow will be the last day that I get to wake up to Ibu Memi and coffee. Ibu, come say hello. If you're not in the frame, you have to come.
Hello, I'm
The
Ibu
last
Memi.
time to wake up to Ibu Memi and coffee and juice. So today we have to get the house ready to be rented out, basically. I don't know when the house is going to be rented, but I'm sure it'll come pretty quickly. And I also need to finish packing. So those are the first objectives this morning, and then we'll see how the rest of the day goes. This is our current situation with the packing. I'm starting to think that maybe I'm taking too much with me because we're nearly at the point of the suitcases being full and we still have a lot to fit in there. I may have to make some cuts. It's just I didn't realize, I guess, how much I had accumulated over the last 4 years of living here. When I moved to Bali, I actually moved with just one check suitcase and one carry-on, and obviously in the interim you collect a lot of things, especially clothes in my case. So yeah, I mean, you can always buy more in Portugal.
Jangan di bawah ya.
It's taken several hours, but things are now in a much better state. I would say that I'm about 95, maybe 90% packed. I just have a few more things to jam in to the suitcase. I did have to make some cuts. Anyway, I'm on the way now to my last hair appointment in Bali, actually to get some keratin done because my hair is looking quite frizzy these days, even though hopefully the humidity will be a lot less intense in Lisbon than it has been here. I think I'm already out of breath just walking up the stairs with the heat today. It's going to be intense always to go into Canggu. Fingers crossed for no insane traffic on the shortcut. Well, maybe I'll come back, but I don't think so. I think already finished with Bali.
Oh no.
So what?
Portugal is really nice. Really good.
I am happy there, yeah. I think it's better for me in Portugal than... Oh, it's so hot in Bali. I don't want to be with this heat anymore, the humidity, the traffic. Oh my god, all of so much. It's just stressful, you know?
You like Bali Corona?
Yeah, it might be better, but not really actually. That too then was boring. Coronavirus. Do you mind? I'm gonna take off my shirt because I'm so sweaty.
Oh, so today just keratin ya?
Yeah, look, I'm letting my hair go gray.
Yeah.
Look at all this.
Look good.
You think so?
Yeah. Look good.
I just think it's too much work otherwise because I'm keeping it short, and so if it's not gray, it's like I have to dye it every 2 weeks almost.
That's fine.
I think even here I'm gonna let the gray come
Yeah.
on the top and just only do keratin, you know, to get it smoother.
Okay.
You think it looks good, the gray? Really? You don't think I look too old?
I'm telling you before, your gray is good, not gray, you know, not gray. Some gray is like jet.
Yeah.
This one is got shine because you always take care of.
It's like white almost, more than gray, I think. No?
Yeah. Next time just put silver shampoo.
You sell silver shampoo? I have to buy it in Portugal, I think, because already my suitcase is full. I can't fit anything else.
We have the small one.
Hati-hati karena rumput ini mahal.
I know.
Face mahal.
The one, the front one.
Yeah.
She's too scared.
Yeah, this front hair is $5,000.
Your food is so expensive.
It's like it's the price of a Vespa.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I need like that.
No, face more expensive than Vespa. Face could be 5 Vespa.
5 Vespa?
5 Vespas.
Yeah. Hidungnya.
Semua dibuat sudah dibuat.
Aku mau beli bedak 800.000 aja.
Berpikir.
Pikir-pikir.
Ini mukanya Adrian 5 Vespa. Berarti almost 300 juta.
The why I didn't use makeup now because makeup so expensive for me. So no, nothing.
I'm not wearing makeup either.
But you already have good one. Perfect one. If I have face like you, I will not never wearing makeup.
My hair is finished. Obviously it's looking a little bit crazy right now because I have to wait to wash it and then it will get some of its natural wave and volume back, but now I can go to Lisbon knowing that my hair is not going to be crazy and all frizzed out. Thank you, Yanti. See you who knows when.
I miss soon. I miss soon.
I'll invite you to my wedding.
Yeah.
So it's my last evening here, watching the sunset, enjoying a Bali lager that I've never had before but was inspired when I stopped at the Pito earlier to pick up a local brew to enjoy my last night here. And I really just want to take it easy, spend my last evening with my dog, chill, relax, no stress, go for some tacos later and then take a nice, long, warm soak in the bathtub. And tomorrow morning put the finishing touches on my packing, and that's it. I don't feel any kind of really strong emotion, being that I'm just going from one home to another, and meanwhile I'm keeping my villa here. You know, this is always a place that I can come back to. I'm a resident of Indonesia, I'm going to be a resident now of Portugal. Like, these are both places that I can call home, and that's really incredible to say that I've created this kind of life for myself, and I'm really excited to go back to Portugal tomorrow. It's of course bittersweet, but I think more excitement than anything else. Like, this is something that I've been wanting now for a long time, the anticipation of waiting for the visa that finally arrived, and I'm just really happy about this next chapter of my life, and also excited to know that I'm not closing the book on Bali. You know, I'm kind of keeping one foot in here, and it's a good feeling. It's honestly a really good feeling. Tomorrow morning I have some people coming over to look at the Vespa, which I'm selling. The last kind of touches are coming together on what used to be my office and is now going to be the third bedroom. So furniture is being made, being delivered over the next several days, and hopefully, you know, my villa will get rented out on a consistent basis. I'm counting on that because my rent did increase 30-something%, and you know, while I'm not living here, I do want it to be occupied and keep the whole operation going, that I can keep my staff, that, you know, it just makes sense. So cheers this last evening. Cheers, Mr. Bobbins. Come here. You want to say goodbye? Come. 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 Mr. Bobbins says goodbye as well, for now, but I guess you'll see him tomorrow. You'll meet my friend Suzanne, who's going to be taking care of him, because he's a very, very naughty boy, naughty Bobbins, who always wants to just play all the time. my video, Suzanne, for my last day in Bali. This is, wait, so let me introduce. This is Suzanne, who is my surrogate mother here in Bali, my business partner, and really probably my only friend on this island for the last several years. And I'm really happy that Mr. Bubbins is going to go to a loving home with other dogs to play with in the meantime. And Suzanne has come to send me off, and I'm going to miss her a lot, but she'll come visit in Lisbon, and I'll be back in Bali at who knows when in the future, but at some point. So the car has just arrived, putting the suitcases in, and within an hour we'll be on our way to the airport. I'll be on my way to the airport, and goodbye Bali.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.